G'day, Stu from UAVfutures here, and welcome back to another episode of Tech Tuesday, where every Tuesday we get together, we talk about some new, different, or just exciting technology in the FPV drone racing world. And today we actually have a pretty special pair of goggles. What we've got the Viper goggles from FXT. That's a bit of a mouthful to say, but these Viper goggles, they do some things differently. Like, they've got a periscope design. Check this bit out. I really like this feature. You can take the top sort of, I guess, the screen off if you want to use that out in the field, do some different things with that. And we're also going to be finding out, are these goggles going to work for people with glasses? Because I know in the past, if you've got glasses, it can be very difficult to find the right pair of FPV goggles. And also, with these box goggles, I know they don't get very good reviews, at least from, I guess, my crew that I work with on UAVfutures. Trev absolutely hates them, but these ones, I've got to tell you, they're kind of comfortable, and in the small tests I've done with them, I'm not getting as much eye strain. So I think that's something that's going to be very interesting when we take it out to the field. So what we're going to be doing, we'll stick it on the bench, break it down, look at the text and the specs, and find out sort of how this goggle works. And then the big one, we'll take it out to the field, fly it around, I'll give you my impressions, we'll show you some DVR. We'll also hand it over to Grumpy Trev, because he does not like box goggles at all, but I can't wait to see what he actually says about this one. And then also to crash test Cal as well and find out, and give you guys the right information and find out, are these Viper goggles from XFT going to be the right ones for you? Now, a massive shout out to these guys because, look, they sent me this pair of goggles, but they also sponsored us with an extra pair that I've got to give away. So this is to you viewers. We'll put the official rules down below in the comments or somewhere like that. So go and check that out. But what I want you to do, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification, all that sort of stuff. But also put a comment down below, or what do you like about these goggles? So that can be a bit of feedback for them as well. And then we'll go through with like a random comment picker, and we're going to ship out one of these guys, this Viper goggle, to one of you subscribers out there. So big shout out to the guys over at XFT for that second pair for you guys. Anyway, let's kick it off, stick it on the bench, and get started and find out, is this going to be the right box periscope goggle for you? Alrighty, here it is on the bench. I've got my camera zoomed out because it is a fairly big sort of a box goggle here. Most of them are pretty big. You do get this pretty handy sort of turtle shell case that's not really going to fit in here, but if you do want a massive case, well, there it is. Because these goggles, they are difficult to transport, but what we're going to be doing, we're going to go through, this is sort of broken up into two parts because we've got our important screen here. This is the head part of, I guess, like the headset part. Let's get some of the boring bits out of the way. You get some dipole antennas. They're useless. I don't really like them. Then you get some different parts for powering your screen. I really like these little adapters, and also some of your AV cords out. So that part all plugs into your screen. So I'm going to put those boring bits to the side. Let's get on with it. Let's talk about the actual good part, the unit themselves, the headset, and also the screen. So I'm going to put this in here, and this is something I really like. This little trap door, what it means is you can actually take this off in the field. You know, you can use it as just a separate viewing monitor, or if you want to use it as a headset, you can stick it into this. I'm just going to keep calling it a headset. Now, what we should do, first things first, let's stick it on the scales, because this is always important. Turn my scales on and take your guesses. How much is it going to weigh? Because it doesn't feel like the lightest. I'm going to say, we'll make sure that that battery pad's not touching the ground. It's coming in at, can you guys see that? 563 grams. So it's definitely not the lightest thing whatsoever you do. And that doesn't have a battery in there either. And you're doing the battery off the back of your head. And I must say that makes it a little bit more comfortable. But one thing you're going to notice in the review when we're out in the field, you've got this big cushy part around the top right here. Hopefully I'll flash a picture on the screen anyway. And that rests right on your forehead. And I've got to say, it really is one of the most comfortable box goggles that I've ever had the pleasure of using. I don't usually like them. Usually they cut into my face, but where this one presses, it presses very, very well. The bits on your eyes and your nose, it doesn't hang on there whatsoever. It's quite comfortable. And this top big padded foam part, it does a really, really good job. So I'm impressed with that. Now, something that makes this goggle special, you can see it's got a bit of a periscope design, so we've got a whole bunch of different mirrors in there, and what it does, it bounces the light off, and because it bounces the light off, what that actually means is your viewing distance feels a bit further. It's much easier for your eyes to focus on the screen when it's actually on there, because something I didn't like in the past with box goggles, you're looking at something so close to your eyes trying to focus, it can make you feel like you're going a bit cross-eyed, and that's definitely not the case with this one. I can say from experience, from using these, and you'll see what Trevor and also Cal think, think with these on, I actually felt like I could fly all day in terms of comfort and also in terms of that eye strain. I was really surprised. This is the best box goggle I've ever had when it comes to eye strain. Now, something I don't like though, it doesn't have any sort of, I guess, focus part if you need to focus it back and forth to get it just right. I didn't have any issues with it, neither did Cal, neither did Trev, and that was probably because as well, even though you can't focus it, you can actually wear your glasses under this. So if you're one of those people out there, I'm going to take this top part off actually. If you're one of those people out there and you need to wear glasses, this, let me tell you, is the first pair that I've ever seen that works really well. So you can actually fit your glasses on the side of your head because it's got this nice sort of light foam, light plastic, light rubber I should say, light rubber on the outside. They actually sort of, it couples your face nicely while you've still got glasses on and your glasses fit inside. And there's not really too much more I can say. You've got this little trapdoor which actually does clip in the V, not the V ones, but I know another FXT, they just kept popping open all the time. They had the same sort of design. I do like it how this one, it's pretty secure, and you've also got these little clips under here which go for your cables, which I really like as well. So you clip your cable in here, run it all the way up, and then you can sit your battery on the back. So that's it, I guess, for the plastic part that sits on your face. What we should do, let's have a look at the actual screen. Alrighty, so here's the screen on the bench, and you know, something I do like, it connects with this little USB right here for power, but you know, you can plug your Fat Shark straight in there, or if you don't like that, and this screen can take a huge range of voltages. I think it's like up to 36 volts or something like that. I'll link it down below, but you can also just plug in this little adapter that you get so you can plug in your LiPo. So I'm going to plug it in, turn my screen on. It's got this, you got your DVR button on the top. Other than that, it's really simple. You put your little SD card in the side here. Here you've got your AV in, AV out, and I think it's important. It's always better when you've got both of those, and there's nothing on the other side except for a little HDMI port where you can plug it in, and you could hook this up to the simulator if you wanted to hook it up to your computer. So I'm going to hold this button in. You see the blue light comes in. It should turn on. There we go. So it's a nice bright screen. I've got to say the colors in this thing are fantastic. It does look really good when you're flying around, and also, you know, the screen and the resolution, it was 800 by 600, so it's a very clear image. So what we should do, I want to show you my favorite feature on here, but it's also got a bit of a flaw in there. So I'm going to try and turn out these lights. Actually might make it a little bit better on the screen, but I think if you press that, look at this amazing feature. Because you've got this little joystick at the back, that's how you should go about selecting all your channels. You've got all your bands. What a fantastic idea. Rather than pressing a button to cycle through, I love this idea. This is my favorite feature. Fat Shark, please, anyone, if you're watching this, please have that feature on there where all the channels pop up. We can just cycle through and then press on the one we actually want. But let's see if I can get this in focus. It's probably, let me adjust this. Check this out, you know, so even though that feature is amazing, if we go down to our E band, look at this, they need to fix this up in the firmware 5905, 5905, and 5905. So they've actually got the same channel on there 3 times, which is really frustrating because everything else in there works top notch. It tells you your voltage up the top, how long it's been on, tells you your channel, your frequency. I do wish those things would disappear after, I guess, a minute once it's found a signal, because other than that, it's pretty annoying. And it's telling me I don't have an SD card in here now. Recording the DVR was very easy. Push it in, press this button, ready to rock and roll. I don't know why mine, because I got 2 versions, one of them actually had an SD card in that had some stuff on there from the people who'd been testing that, so I thought that part was a little bit funny. But other than that, it's got diversity in here, which is great. It doesn't come with very good antennas, so just those dipoles. I do wish it had upgraded some different antennas on here, and I'm going to do that in the field because I feel like it's not fair to review this just on those dodgy antennas. Every pilot I know upgrades their antennas, and I've got to say the reception was okay as well. So that's it. That's the screen and the headset unit on the bench. It's a nice screen. I love how you can take this anywhere as well. You know, this might be great in your bag. It might be good on my bench if you just wanted to do some testing. Well, here it is. I've got something I can check the channel very easily. But what the big part is, I want to take it out the field and show you why, when this screen, coupled with everything that it does inside this sort of good headset that's comfortable with a non-sort of cross-eyed sort of vision, it works very well. You're actually going to have a good box style goggles that works even when you got to wear glasses. So let's cut out the field, have some fun, and find out why the Vipers are so good in 3, 2, 1. Alright, out here in the field, I'm having a bit of a giggle because just putting these on, telling Trevor I'm going to do some box goggle reviews. He's been, what do you reckon, Trevor? What do you reckon straight away? Okay, so look, I'm excited. These are the FXT Viper goggles. They're a box style, periscope style. So what we're going to do, I'm going to fly around with them, show you my impressions, show you some DVR, then we'll hand over to Grumpy Trev, see what he thinks, because I can already see him shaking his head behind the camera, and see what Crash Test Cal thinks as well, and find out, are these going to be the right box goggle for you? All right, let's do it. Alrighty, so just putting them on here, and the first thing I want to say is on my face, they are, I can feel the weight because they're not a super light goggle, but probably the biggest part for me is this cushioning bit up the top. It's not digging in with the hard plastic that I'm so used to in so many others. There is a fair bit of light leakage. I definitely need to do something up under here for my big honker, for my nose. It fits quite well. They've actually made the nose cavity huge, but where it's different is I need to sort of, the way I line it up on my face, that's where it causes a little bit of light leakage, because if I have it nice and snug, well then I'm just not seeing the screen a little bit. So that part's a little bit different. I need to have mine a little bit lower, and because of that, I'm getting a fair bit of light leakage. Now, one of my favorite things, just looking at this, there's no focus, which really sucks, and I've got the DVR rolling, but I am not getting any eye strain. For one of the first times in a long time when I've got some box goggles on, my eyes aren't feeling like they're straining to look at the picture, and for my eyes, it's actually a very comfortable image. I could feel like I could watch this for a long time without getting any discomfort. Anyway, I'm going to find my remote. I can actually see by looking down there's that much of a gap here, and we should be ready to rock and roll. So the colors are nice and bright. Actually, the colors are beautiful. I don't know if that's just mixed with this camera as well, because we're flying around with one of the Catalyst Machine Works drones, but I've also changed out the antennas because they just had two normal little stick antennas that are rubbish most of the time, and it wouldn't be a fair goggle review anyway if we reviewed them with them on there, because most of the time people just change out their antennas anyway. So let's take it for a bit of a burn. You gonna fix my antennas up, Trev?
Yeah. Oh, that's better. Now it's right.
All right. Let's go a bit further. So the breakup is fine. Look, I gotta say, for the first time in my life, with a pair of box goggles, I feel like I can actually fly. They're actually not too uncomfortable. They are, that big padding on the top of my head, like I said, means it makes for a very, not comfortable fit, but how can I sort of say this? Like, it's cushioned. It's definitely not uncomfortable, and I could handle it for a lot more of the day versus some of those other box goggles out there. I'm not really noticing the light leakage whatsoever now I'm flying around, and the screen, there's no blurring on the outside. I can see everything on the OSD. I would like the top part. I wish I could get rid of the channel in the background, those sort of bits up the top. I'm not sure if they're going to come out in the OSD, but once it's on, you know, I know I'm on my channel, I know I'm on F2. I wish that part wasn't on the screen permanently, but look, overall, I think depending on the price, because I don't know the price of these, but as far as box goggle goes, I am a bit of a fan. You know what, I'm getting no eye strain whatsoever, you know, and I don't know if other people are going to need some focus, and it'll be interesting to see if Cal needs some glasses, but these are actually really comfortable on my eyes. There's no discomfort. I'm not feeling cross-eyed or anything like that, which is a big problem for a lot of these box goggle types. So definitely they've got something going on with that periscope sort of design. All right, I'm going to bring it in, and then we'll hand it over to GT and see what he thinks as well. Is there any marks on my head? Is there anything up there?
No,
from the goggles?
No.
Yeah, they were...
Holes still there.
You know what, they were... I don't know what the word to say is, because look, they're comfortable. You can feel that they're there, but they're not digging in, which is something that I hated about other box goggles, and the picture was very clear, and I didn't feel like I was going cross-eyed. But I don't know how you're going to go, old man, because look, in the past, Trevor hates these box goggles. So what we should do, let's hand it over to him and see what he thinks. You ready? All right, GT. So these are the Viper goggles from FXT. And what are your first impressions? I know you sort of heard me rambling, but you had to film me.
Well,
hang on, what do you think of box goggles in the past?
I don't think much of them at all.
Why is that? So why don't you like box goggles traditionally?
Because you can't focus them. You can't, for people that have got any, not just old people by the way, that have any, or wear glasses of any sort, can't focus on the things.
Okay.
So that's the biggest drummer. But
do you like how box goggles feel on your face most of the time?
some of them are all right. Some of them are terrible.
All right. So, well, I'm interested to see what you think of the Vipers.
Well, let's try these on. They look different, don't they? They really are.
The way they're actually working, they've got a few mirrors in there.
Oh, okay. Okay, I've got to have them down pretty low, just like you said then. Wow, guess what? I can actually read the screen.
All right, that's good. That's good.
That's amazing. And I don't believe I'm saying this, but they're comfortable.
Let me get a side shot. Oh, so is there any sharp bits of plastic digging in that we're...
No, not really. And look, the light leakage, I've got a little bit, but I don't reckon it's going to worry it. Give me a quad, I want to have a go.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm just going to press this button up here to stop my DVR. All right, Trevor, so I've just pressed that part. What do you think about how the menu selection goes?
Oh, that is shit
So
on.
you can sort of,
Yeah.
I'll flash a picture on the screen. Those people would have seen it in the bench part, but
Comes up with all the frequencies. You
Yeah.
can just pick what you want. That is good. Instead of going through all the way through, that is a great idea.
all right, you ready to rip a pack?
Yeah, what the heck?
Imagine that on your on weight. You press a button. I want that one.
That's good.
Yes, Trevor, you're ready to go.
Look, I've got to have them pretty low
Uh-huh.
to actually see the whole screen, but it is actually clear. Oh well, let's see if I can fly.
I'm going to turn your antenna as well. Face you this way.
Yep. That it? Did that arm?
Arm again. There you go. Armageddon.
Oh, well, be buggered. Look, they're very clear. I love the colours too. Okay, I can fly with them. I can actually see. It's focused. Holy shit. Not as, definitely not as good as the normal goggles, but sort of, to me, it's probably favouring one eye, so, and that's probably because of my focal ability with my eyes. And my eyes aren't real bad, like I only need glasses for stuff that's a long way away.
Are you happy with these goggles?
These are the first goggles I would recommend.
Box goggle style.
Yes. Yeah, box goggle style goggles. All those guys out there that are, well, not just old guys, but anyone that's dramas with their eyes, I reckon you'd be able to fly this. These are amazingly good. I'm getting used to them now, actually. Getting used to them is just the thing, I think, after flying normal goggles around. Yeah, I like them. Be buggered, I can't believe I'm saying it. Who made these?
FTX.
Well,
FXT.
FXT, guys, these are shit hot.
And what were you thinking before you tried these on? I was reading your face. What do you
No
think?
kidding. Anytime I see box goggles, I cringe. I just reckon most of them are just pieces of shit.
Well, okay, what's Grumpy Trev's rating out of 10 for the box goggles for the Vipers?
Well, these are a 9.
Okay.
Absolutely for box goggles. And look, I can't give it value for money on these, but I reckon that...
Well, okay, because they're not out yet, so I don't know the actual price, and if it's out when I'll put it down below if we can find it by the time we air this video. But what would you say the value is in terms of purchasing this? How much would you be happy to say you can buy this for this much?
Well, if these are true diversity, I better land this, the battery's getting a bit flat.
Yep.
I reckon they'd be worth $200.
Okay.
Because they're comfortable, you can actually see, not heavy, and they are way in front of any other box goggle I've ever tried.
I want to show you too, I don't know if we mentioned this part, but if you want to take just this out as well, so that screen comes out, you can use that.
Oh, that's cool, isn't it?
In the field.
Yeah.
If you just want to keep that. Oh, you can see the mirrors in there.
Oh, I can see. Oh, that is pretty scary. Jesus, you've got a big head, Stu. Whoa, I can see 2 years now.
No, you look like Darth Vader.
Whoa.
All right, yeah. Nice. So you're a fan?
Yeah, look, first time for everything. Well done, guys. They are really good. I actually would fly with those.
All right, nice. Thanks, Trev. Rightio, CTC, the most educated man of all of FPV, with a physics degree. What do you reckon?
I'll take that.
Oh yeah, all right. What do you reckon of the FXT Viper goggles? First impressions. And I know you did hear Trevor and I ranting in the background. Sorry about that.
Well,
what do you reckon?
I'm going to start with a con because look, it's a bit of a monstrosity, I got to say. In terms of size, they're big, and it would be hard for me to go back to something this big, no matter how good it was.
Uh-huh.
But having said that, let's evaluate the whole thing. It definitely seems like it's good quality material, I'll say that. The plastics are all really well made, good manufacturing.
I don't think, do we have a drone plugged in? Have you got something plugged in?
Yeah, I do.
Yep.
And yeah, look, that's not too bad. For me, the picture seems slightly distorted, like it's wider at the bottom than it is at the top. Maybe, did you put the screen back on properly?
Yeah, no, it's on.
Yeah, okay. That's not too bad though. And I don't have a 100% sharp focus like Trev did. I'd say I'm about 95%.
You've
there.
got some glasses here too.
I do.
We should try
I'm
some
going to try
glasses
them.
on.
But I'll say on the face and on the head, they're comfortable.
Is the writing in focus, Cop?
Sorry?
The writing in focus?
Can you read the OSD?
Yeah, I can, but it's not in a perfect focus for me because my eyes are probably worse than Trev's. So let's have a look, see if I can sharpen that up a little bit.
So you've got a pair of glasses on?
I do. And, yep, perfect fit. Okay.
Wait, so you got, hang on, I want to see if I can get this in shot somewhere. Because this is really important. A lot of people, you can barely even see them. Is it pressing on the glasses or anything like that?
No, they're perfectly comfortable. So, yeah, and everything's in perfect focus now.
Okay. So these might be great for, well, these look like, what do you think of for people with glasses? What would you say?
It's a perfect solution, yeah, for sure.
All right, ready to rip it around?
Yeah.
Are you getting some light leakage?
A little bit, but that's not too concerning. It's not taking away from the image.
I actually think you wouldn't, if it was an even snugger fit, you might not be able to fit your glasses in there.
Yeah. No, they're quite comfortable in there. That's not a problem.
Rightio, Cal. So I actually forgot about this when I did the bench review, but why we were just about to get your radio to take off. Your quad was plugged in, ready to rock and roll, but why now we're back on mine?
Well, we couldn't get my channel.
Yeah, they're missing the E-band. So they're missing, there's a few double ups with the 5905 like 3 or 4 times. So we're back on mine. That part they definitely need to fix, but you ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, let's do it.
You got your glasses on?
I do.
Yep.
Oh, it's a nice wide, it's got good colour. I'm not seeing a lot of pixelation, which is good, but it's just something about it that just seems a little off to me. I don't know what it is. It's something about the perspective. Everything seems a little bit far away, even though it's quite a wide field of view.
Are you getting any light leakage? Noticeable? Is there light leakage, and if so, is it affecting your flying?
There is, but it's not affecting anything. It's not an issue. It's not affecting the picture or taking my attention away from anything, so that's fine. But look, they're not a bad box goggle, and the fact that they can accommodate my reading glasses is pretty neat, because I have got a very crisp and clear picture, 100% focused, which is good with my glasses, which you'd expect. The colours are good. I could probably adjust the brightness and the contrast a little bit to get it a little bit better. The reception seems to be very good. I'm getting down to the end of the park without too much of a problem. I'm not sure how they would go for racing. Maybe it's just a matter of getting used to them, I would say. But for a bit of freestyling, I'd have no problem using these. They're quite comfortable for that.
Are you finding it's pressing on your head, or is anything digging in?
No, everything's quite comfortable. They're comfortable. They're a good picture, a good, nice, clear picture. There's no complaints about that. Good reception. Look, they seem to be on to a pretty good product, and you know, taking into account the quality of the product itself, the plastics used, and the fact that you can take that little screen off, and that's quite versatile, and just use it as a display on your lap, which is great. You know, if these came out around the $200 mark, I think there would be a pretty reasonable price for this product. I really do. And I know there will be some people who do wear glasses that'll be looking for a goggle just like this, and they won't be too disappointed. It's a pretty reasonable product, I got to say.
What would you say, what's Cal's famous 4 words to sum up the Viper goggles?
Good for bad eyes.
Okay.
Yeah. Look, if you can put up with the inconvenience of the size of them, because they're not going to really fit into your backpack so well, that's something to consider, and that's almost a deal breaker for me. But for others who are just starting out in the hobby and they just want something that's well priced, it's going to give them a good experience.
You've crashed my quad over there, but yeah, continue.
They're going to be well served by looking at these goggles, and especially if they come out at the right price. I have no idea what the price will be, but if they come out $200 or less, it's going to be a good deal.
Right. Thanks, Cal.
Thank you.
Alrighty, so there it is. There's my review of the Viper goggles from FXT, and overall I've got to say I was ready to slam them. Box goggles have never done very well in this channel. You know, it's usually the really cheap pair that I recommend, and they do have some serious limitations, but their price sort of overcomes it. These bad boys, on the other hand, I was really surprised. I mean, they've got the comfort right. It doesn't dig into your head. It doesn't strain your eyes whatsoever. You get a really cool screen and you get good reception, and probably my favorite part, I don't need glasses at all, but if you are one of the people out there who needs glasses, you got your prescriptions on this, well, you can actually have a great FPV experience. It's in focus and fit this over your glasses. So, you know, top notch. Well done, FXT. Well done on your Viper goggles. I'm a big fan. I'm not too sure on the price point. I'll try and link it down below because, look, I know these were a pre-production model, and I thought it was pretty interesting how there was still an SD card in there from someone who'd been testing it or doing something like that, because I know it it only came in one of my pair of goggles. I'm choking here. Now, there's probably two features I wish I showed Cal out in the field, but what you can actually do and show you guys as well. But as well as being able to choose your channels, you can go down and you can actually pick sort of your favorite channels. So you can list them down the side. I'll flash a picture on the screen anyway, but I think that part's pretty cool. So you can have your favorite channels. And then one function, which look, it says it's a function, but I don't think it really does too much, is you can take this bottom sort of visor off and turn it into a bit of a hat. Or if you want to get rid of this bit anyway, you can put this on and then, well, I guess if you wanted to fly around, put your screen in here, take this off. Gosh. If you did want to fly around without that bottom part, well, you can actually do that, which might be okay for some people if you need a bit of spatial awareness of people that are around, those sorts of things, or you want to look at your drone and then look back up in it line of sight. But for me, I don't think I'm ever going to personally do that. I'm probably just going to keep this part on here. Now look, they're not perfect. There are some things I would like to change. I'm very happy with what they do, but it is going to be difficult to sort of move something this big around, and it is quite big and bulky as well as on your face, but also in your backpack. Some mobility and transport, you know, that's going to come into play in some ways. If you're trying to get out, you've got a small bag or something like that. And also they do need to fix up the I think they need to do a firmware update or something, because having so many channels, like I love the way that you get that sort of grid selection channel. I really like that, but having a couple of like 5905s, having 4 of those and the channel's repeating itself means it's very annoying, because we couldn't pick up Cal's channel in the field because it just wasn't programmed in here. And remember too, there's a bit of a giveaway on these, so check the description down below for all the official rules, all that sort of jazz, yada yada yada, because I'd like this to go out to one of you viewers, someone out there, hopefully, who's going to enjoy a pair of box goggles, and even better if you're one of those people who needs a pair of glasses. Anyway, what do you think? Definitely drop your comments down below, enter that competition, subscribe for more FPV related content. Thanks for checking out Tech Tuesday, and as always, happy flying! Alrighty, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Definitely subscribe if you're new to the channel and check out these videos. And I'm also going to leave a little link here to my Patreon page, because I've got some fantastic Patreon supporters and I like to give back to them as well. So if you want to join the UAVfutures family, there's things like bonus Velcro straps, little bundles of FPV goodies and things like that that also get sent out. Anyway, happy flying!